Is it possible that you suffer from depression somewhat regularly is because you have been taught bad theology?
And he is before all things, and in him all things hold together. He is head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in everything he might be preeminent. Top. Nothing above him. Nothing else to gain. Nothing else to get. The goal, the end, what it's all about is Jesus. Look at me. I'm going to try to combat something as best as I can here. Look at me. Following Jesus is not going to make you wealthy. Following Jesus does not guarantee that you're going to be healthy. The message of Scripture and the gospel of Christ is not that in following him everything goes right, but that he is enough no matter what happens. That's the message of the gospel. Not that everything's going to be okay. And it's maddening to me that the prosperity gospel is so unbelievably popular among people who then have to completely disregard Scripture as well as Christian history. Every apostle in the Bible dies bad. I mean bad. They don't like stumble in the street and get run over by a car. They get beheaded. They get crucified upside down. They get boiled in oil. They die poor. And they're slaughtered. Spurgeon, the prince of preachers, struggles with depression his whole life and then dies. Christianity has been built and has carried through the generations on the blood of men, not on the wealth. This is an absurd idea that would make Christ not preeminent, but what he could give you. That is not Christianity. That is something entirely different. And it's heresy that would have got you burned alive 200 years ago.
Is it possible that you, unfortunately, are the victim of a false teacher with false teachings? They told you about Jesus, all the wonderful earthly, physical things that he would do for you, but you go out to your garage and that same old busted-up car is still sitting there. They told you you'd get advanced at work. They told you your bank account would be full. They told you that you and your family would be perfectly healthy, and they are not. And you are suffering from depression because of it. Whatever the cause, whatever the reason, be it that there are circumstances that are simply overwhelming, whether it's organic, whether you have an idol, you are sinning because you're not trusting God enough, or you're resentful because you think you deserve more than what God is giving you, or because you have heard false teaching, regardless of the cause for your depression, might I suggest the cure is for all of those reasons the same. Jesus.
Jesus is enough. He's enough. He's enough. We pursue healing. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. He's enough if we don't. This is the message that Jesus is sufficient. Like, it's all, okay, in Acts, the apostles, they get arrested. And this court says, if you don't quit this preaching stuff, if you don't quit talking about Jesus, we're going to beat you to death. And the response was simple. Do what you think is right. As for us, we cannot help but speaking about what we have seen and heard. And they beat the mess out of them and released them. And they did what? Rejoiced. I mean, they got beat nearly to death. This was the fruit of the gospel in their lives. Beatings. And they left rejoicing. They left there going, oh, you can see my spine. No, like literally, it's exposed. So it seems like Jesus can transcend the most horrific of circumstances. This is not about what Jesus gets you. It's just about Jesus, preeminent, top of the chain. Nothing else to want, nothing else to pursue. He is enough.
May I ask you, if you're struggling with depression, is Jesus preeminent? And may I ask you to focus on him and his preeminence if you are? Son. Yeah, anyways, off to the races.
What are we doing first?
Okay, drive-by theology. You will learn bibliology, theology, eschatology, pneumatology, every theology that you ever wanted to learn. How to systematize the Bible so that all your theology fits into place, nice and neat and tidy.
How many lectures?
48.